Alright guys, I don't think I've done an update ever on the Colorado. It's been a while, and the truck is almost done. So I figured I might just do an update. Lots of things, this might be a long one actually, so I'll try to go quickly. So the engine's transmission is in obviously. That's how it sits. PCM is gonna be in that box. It's a bit tight. Might just make a little cover over it to see, clean up a little. And then I kept the stock PCM here in as well, just zip tied. There's only one plug, two other ones, one for the engine harness. So it's nice and neat unplugging those, nothing's left. The only thing is really with this Colorado's, your starter, as far as I understand, goes through that PCM box, the original one. So you can just turn the key and it's gonna keep cranking until it starts. So I did find the wire, I'll get back to it later, but I found the wire under the dash that is for starter signal obviously, but the only thing is when you first click a key in the first position, it cranks as well. You kind of have to quickly go to the ACC position to not have it crank, and then it cranks normally. So like the battery's disconnected, but basically in this position you turn once, the starter would actually engage. In this one it wouldn't, and then works normal as a starter button. So I don't know what I'm gonna do. It's kind of annoying. You have to kind of quickly go like this and it doesn't even click. If you go slower, it'll hit the starter, but not really a big deal, I guess. The shifters, it's not mounted. This is a $16 eBay thing. Blazer shifter, transmission, cool, training temperature. I'll get under the truck, I'll show later. This is just, I had laying around, so I figured I'll just put it in the bung and pan of the transmission, so kind of keep an eye on that. So the rest of the truck is pretty much untouched. I'll try to keep the factory gauges. I think there's only one or two wires really going to it, so there's not much, just a data wire. This is the where I put kind of all the electronics, and two posts, negative and positive, key on. I'll have extra obviously, but better have extra than, you know, trying to rig up wire. So like a wide band, and yeah, like all the little switches and key on stuff for the shifter to light it up, and the gauges and stuff like that, little stuff. I mean, it would be easy just to run a wire, boom, right up in there. These are a couple of relays, factory PCM for the PCM wiring harness, and it's kind of neat, hides up in there pretty good. The only thing is I have lost the glove compartment, but closes, out of the way, out of sight. Let's see what else. The rear is done, 4.8 Explorer cut, obviously short on one side. The only thing is it's actually too narrow now, I'm guessing. You can see this obviously jacked up on this point, so this should be, I mean, the springs will settle. These are 3-inch lowering springs, but I don't have much room in there, and actually they've settled quite a bit. So I will actually, the frame will hit this bolt on the caliper, which is written. Unfortunately, I tried to flip the caliper on the other side. I've done this in the past, but the thing is it hits this side as well. So I don't know what I'm gonna do. I might just kind of, doesn't need much really, only needs or so. I might just kind of notch it and you know, make it work that way, I guess. Notch and welded piece, so it'll clear. Obviously you don't want to be hitting caliper bolt. So what else? I'll keep the battery in stock position most likely. The best thing is, I'm kind of random but all over the place, them older, like a mid 90s, early 2000, I guess, Volvo's cables are great. I had a long one, I actually cut a piece super thick. This has to be like a 2 or 1 gauge really. Nice and thick one. Goes all the way, batters all the way in the back, so it's very actually easy, or relatively easy to pull out. And I'll show you what else it has. Factory harness. I don't know if I can find it. Maybe I will. Hold on. It has its own little fuse box at the end of it. I can't seem to find it. It's such a mess in here. But I guess not. No luck. Can't find it. Oh well. So it has its own little fuse box there at the end. You can use too. Those are very nice. I've used them. Actually, this is the first time a buddy of mine used this from past. It's just really nice and easy and neat. Easy cable. I mean, most of the junkyards will give it to you for free. So these are the wheels. These are out of a parts car I have, and kind of free. So I figured, hey, might as well run them. 275s back, 245s in the front, and this is what I was telling you about. So the rim is almost up against the, like this, the hub, and it's already touching the frame. I'll have to space them out, obviously. Same thing with the caliper bolt, would touch the frame, and doesn't need much. I'm guessing an inch and a quarter, inch and a half would be perfect. But that's not the biggest problem. The biggest problem, the 6x55 in the front. I can run adapters, obviously, 6x5.5 to 5x4.5, kind of a match front and backs, but those wheels, they're gonna be sticking out probably past the fender about this much. I don't really like the look. I'm not really going for looks, but kind of looks stupid. So rubbing is never gonna be a problem. This Colorado wheel arches are huge, so this is how the wheel would sit. You know, this is obviously load on the spring, so there's plenty of room. I mean, rubbing is not gonna be a problem. It's just looks stupid, you know, front wheels so wide. And trying to see other options. Maybe run adapters in the back and get some sort of wheels all the way around. Kinda wanna go wide, but see what I can find. Working on the headers now. A lot more difficult than I thought they would be. I already cut a bunch of places. Cut and bend and trim and stuff. They give you so much extra. At first I thought it's just gonna be kind of a bolt up per piece. Lots of little pieces and chunks I had to cut off. Trim the ends, and then still the angles are all, I mean, if you have an open you know what I mean, like something big or huge, or truck maybe would fit different than Colorado. The shock tower, the strut tower is rather close. Okay room down there, but I'm just trying to work around it. I'm thinking this side is actually going to be more difficult. Can't see much in there, but the steering, maybe not. Maybe just a little bit harder on this side, but first time doing headers like this, kind of a kit, and I got a flange separately from tubes. Tubes are about $100, and then you can buy a flange separately. So the radiator is in. I run 2 coolers. This is my massive power steering cooler. I don't know why I needed this big, but that's what I had, so I figured why not. Trainee cooler, and another one down here, the transmission cooler. Stock red AC. I'm planning on keeping the AC. The AC pump is down there. Fits beautifully. This Ford Taurus fan, I had to cut a lot of it. I mean, I had to shorten it, and there's not that much room, surprisingly. This truck is rather kind of a short in the nose. So with the water pump, there's going to be just about a 1/4 inch gap in between the end of it, all the way like this. Now you really can't go any further than this, closer to the rad. It'll actually rub on the radiator itself. So this will be Yeah, power steering too. And it'll fit. I just have to make 2 mounts, so it's not a big deal, but I had to modify the fan quite a bit. The rest of the stuff, not much to it, I guess. I don't know if I'm missing something, but oh yeah, the stuff underneath. Let's see, where did I? Sorry, kind of all over the place. Trying to be quick, but at the same time, not forget much. So there you go. Stock. Oh yeah, the stock drive shaft fits beautifully. Actually, perfectly what it's supposed to be, within 1/8 of an inch. So this is stock 4-cylinder, automatic, obviously. So that one fits nice. The rear is in place. Return line is only, it's a returnless system, so I just pretty much use one of those guys off of a stock rail. Cut the chunk off, slip the push lock hose, clampy. Done deal. This is my simplest transmission mount. Those stock Colorados, the ones you guys know, the transmission mount actually goes kind of low. I want to say at least 2 inches below the frame, and this is the lowest point. Kind of looks stupid, in my opinion. And I don't really need it. Kind of all funky shape, so I just welded nuts inside of the frame, bolted this in place. I mean, as simple as it gets. Sorry, it's a little bit out of focus. So this is the trainee cooler, trainee temperature gauge, and the stock oil pan. Oh crap, it's leaking. So stock truck oil pan fits nice. My mounts, I don't know if you can see, probably not. So simple stuff too. On top of the stock, I use them on top of the stock the mount hat, so to speak, from the engine side. So obviously I had to cut the ears off of the transmission on both sides, and that's about it, really. Not much to it. I'm gonna run a Panhard bar probably in the back, I'm thinking, as well as anti-roll bar, sway bar, whatever you call it. But that's a project for another day. I'm just trying to work through the list here, get stuff in, get the headers done. I'm not so worried about the exhaust. I don't know what I want to do with it yet. Run a cutout kind of somewhere in the middle, dump it right before the rear tire, and have the stock exhaust system. It's gotta be 2.5 inches or so. So run completely stock through maybe a stock muffler even. Maybe just change the muffler. And 2.5 inch, yeah. So have the whole complete system. And rather have a nice and quiet truck and then just have a cutout and dump it somewhere before the rear tire. Maybe not. Maybe just do the whole 3 inch all the way to the back. I'll see what I want to do. And that's probably gonna be it. I'll probably make another update once we get close. Maybe driving. Alrighty.